Hello students, welcome back to the online classes. We were going through the chapter number 6, the 100 dresses part 2, and you have, I hope that you have gone through the chapter properly. Up till now we have seen that how the things were going on about the about Wanda. Peggy and Maddie, they both had come to see Wanda, to find out Wanda, that how Wanda was, and to meet her and ask sorry from her. They, after the school, ran towards Bogan Heights to see her, and when they reached there, they went through the place and into the room, to the house, but they could not see anybody in the house. So let us continue, page number 75. On page number 75, last paragraph. There was not a sign of life about the house. Peggy knocked firmly on the door, but there was no answer. She and Maddie went around to the backyard and knocked there. Still, there was no answer. There was no doubt about it. The Petronskis were gone. How could they ever make amends? They turned slowly and made their way back down the hill. Now, Maddie and Peggy, they went in front of the door, knocked there, no one answered. Then they went backyard of the house. There also they knocked, but no reply. For a while, they went around the place. They could not see anybody. Now they got little worried and little anger, because how could it possible that they go so soon, so early, no? And second thing, now what will happen? To whom they will ask sorry, or to how they will convey to Wanda that they really are sorry about it, and they are, what do you call, can't feel about it. How to tell her that they are really sorry what they have done. Well, anyway, said Peggy, she's gone now. So what can we do? Besides, when I was asking her about all her dresses, she probably was getting good ideas for her drawings. She might not even have won the contest otherwise. Now, Peggy was feeling that it was Peggy herself who had given the ideas of the dresses to Wanda, because she feels that Wanda would not have drawn such wonderful or beautiful dresses if Peggy had not insisted her asking questions regarding how many dresses she had in her closet. So she feels that it was her idea to Wanda, that she could go through the she imagines the dresses and draw it. So she feels that it was her credit goes. Maddie turned this idea carefully over in her head, for if there were anything in it, she would not have to feel so badly. But that night she could not get to sleep. She thought about Wanda and her faded blue dress and the little house she had lived in, and she thought of the glowing picture those 100 dresses made, all lined up in the classroom. At last, Maddie sat up in bed and pressed her forehead tight in her hands and really thought. This was the hardest thinking she had ever done. After a long time, she reached an important conclusion. She was never going to stand by and say nothing again. Now, Maddie, turned this idea. Maddie did not listen to Peggy, that what Peggy is saying was right. She just, overheard it. She did not listen it. She just, threw that idea. Came back home, and that night Maddie could not sleep. She was going on thinking about Wanda, that how bad she might have felt when they made fun of her, when they called out her name and all those things. So she was feeling sorry about it, and she was thinking, pressing herself, that she will never do this kind of thing to anybody else. So she was trying to take a kind of a resolution, kind of a decision that now onwards she will never behave in this fashion, or she will never call out name to anybody or make fun of anybody, that she will not stand with Peggy and no support her. Instead, she will try to stop her. So she just took a decision, this type of things. If she ever heard anybody picking on someone because they were funny looking or because they had strange names, she would speak up, even if it meant losing Peggy's friendship. She had no way of making things right with Wanda, but from now on, she would never make anybody else that unhappy again. Now, as I said, she just decided that she will never stand against anybody, even if she had to lose Peggy's friendship. She decided that if anybody is going to make fun of anybody or started calling out name of anybody, even if it is Peggy also, she will stand against her and she will protest for that particular person, for that particular child, even if she had to lose the friendship of Peggy. So she just made the strong decision by herself. On Saturday, Maddie spent the afternoon with Peggy. They were writing a letter to Wanda Petronsky. It was just a friendly letter telling about the contest and telling Wanda she had won. They told her how pretty her drawings were, and they asked her if she liked where she was living and if she liked her new teacher. They had meant to say they were sorry, but it ended up with their just writing a friendly letter, the kind they would have written to any good friend, and they signed it with lots of X's for love. They mailed the letter to Bawkins Heights, writing "Please forward" on the envelope. Now on Saturday, Maddie spent whole afternoon with Peggy, and then they decided that they will write a letter to Wanda. They both sat and started writing about a friendly letter to Wanda, asking about her new place, about the new school, about the new friends, about the new teacher. They in fact wanted to write letter for asking sorry, but they forgot about it and all became friendly. They mailed the letter to Bawkins Heights, writing on the top of the letter that please forward it. Because they were not knowing the exact address of new place of Wanda. So they just knew the address about the Bawkins Heights. So they wrote on the letter that please forward it to Wanda in the friendly letter. Days passed and there was no answer, but the letter did not come back. So maybe Wanda had received it. Perhaps she was so hurt and angry she was not going to answer. You could not blame her. So the letter was posted. Days passed, week passed. They thought that first the letter might have not gone, but if it hadn't gone, the letter would have come back. But since the letter did not come back, they believed that it has reached to Wanda. And then they started thinking, Peggy and Maddie started thinking that she might be still very angry, very sad. That's why she is not responding the letter. And they thought that why to blame her? We cannot blame her. It is we who have done all wrong things. Weeks went by and still Wanda did not answer. Peggy had began to forget the whole business, and Maddie put herself to sleep at night, making speeches about Wanda, defending her from great crowds of girls who were trying to tease her with how many dresses have you got. And before Wanda could press her lips together in the tight line, the way she did before answering, Maddie would cry out, "Stop." Then everybody would feel ashamed the way she used to feel. Now weeks went and still there was no response from Wanda. And slowly Peggy started forgetting all these things. But Maddie went on thinking, and she always, in the dream, she used to feel that Wanda is being pulled up again, she's been asked the questions and all those things, and she stood beside Wanda and asking others to stop not to do this kind of things, as if she is trying to show that she is with Wanda. So she is just dreaming all these things, that she is with Wanda and trying to stop her. Now it was Christmas time and there was snow on the ground. Christmas bells and a small tree decorated the classroom. On the last day of school before the holidays, the teacher showed the class a letter she had received that morning. Now it was Christmas time. All of them were busy in decorating the Christmas tree and the class and everything. And since it was the last day of the school, now the teacher showed them a letter. Okay, the teacher showed them a letter, and of course the letter was from Wanda. You remember Wanda Petronsky, the gifted little artist who won the drawing contest? Well, she has written me and I am glad to know where she lives because now I can send her medal. I want to read her letter to you. The class sat up with a sudden interest and listened intently. Now, Miss Mason again told her that today I want to read a letter to you, and I believe you all know Wanda Petronsky, the gifted artist who had won the drawing competition, and now she knows her location, she knows her address, so that she can send the medal to her. And she says she feels happy that she has written the letter to her and she wants to read it for the class. The whole class kept quiet, sat silently, and all were eager to listen what was in the letter. Dear Miss Mason, how are you and room 13? Please tell the girls they can keep those 100 dresses because in my new house I have 100 new ones, all lined up in my closet. I would like that girl Peggy to have the drawing of the green dress with the red trimming and her friend Maddie to have the blue one. For Christmas, I miss that school and my new teacher does not equalize with you. Merry Christmas to you and everybody. Yours truly, Wanda Petronsky. Now, Wanda writes in the letter. First of all, she asks about Miss Mason and about the room number 13, that is her students, her friends, all of them in the room number 13. Then she tells that she is good there and tells that they can keep the 100 dresses because in her new house she has got new 100 dresses all in closet. So she says that they can keep all those dresses. Especially for Peggy, she says she can keep the green dress, and for Maddie, it was the blue dress she asked them to keep as a Christmas gift. Even she says that the teacher or the school is not so good as much as it was in here when they were in Bergen Heights, of that place. So she says that it's not so good, but still she is happy there. On the way home from school, Maddie and Peggy held their drawings very carefully. All the houses had wreaths and holly in the windows. Outside the grocery store, hundreds of Christmas trees were stacked, and in the window, candy, peppermint sticks, and corn copies of shiny transparent paper were stuck. The air smelled like Christmas, and light shining everywhere reflected different colors on the snow. So when they were going back, Maddie and Peggy held that drawing very tightly towards them, to their heart, that they did not want to give to anybody or show anybody. They just want to keep themselves. And they both walked quietly. The whole city was well decorated because it was Christmas time, and the shops were well decorated. Lights were there, sweets, candies, all were decorated for sale and everything. The whole city was very much illumined by the lights and other things. Boy, said Peggy, this shows she really likes us. It shows she got our letter and this is her way of saying that everything's all right, and that's that. I hope so, said Maddie sadly. She felt sad because she knew she would never see the little tight-lipped Polish girl again and couldn't ever really make things right between them. Peggy immediately says that thank God she got the letter, and the way she thanked us by giving us her dress. The painting she gave us, it shows that she is not angry with us. She is still friendly with us. Maddie thinks some other way. She's still feeling sad because she is not able to say sorry to her face to face, straight away. She had to say this through the letter, and Wanda understood that they are really sorry about what had happened or what they have done, and the dress what she has given to them. She went home and she pinned her drawing over a torn place in the pink flowered wallpaper in the bedroom. The shabby room came alive from the brilliancy of the color. Maddie sat down on her bed and looked at the drawing. She had stood by and said nothing, but Wanda had been nice to her anyway. When Maddie reached home, she took her this drawing and pinned on a colored wallpaper and put it there, and she was just watching that drawing. When she put that drawing, the whole room had become colorful. She felt that the drawing was alive, and it has filled the color in her life as well as in the her bedroom. Tears blurred her eyes, and she gazed for a long time at the picture. Then hastily she rubbed her eyes and studied it intently. The colors in the dress were so vivid that she had scarcely noticed the face and head of the drawing, but it looked like her, Maddie. It really looked like her own mouth. Why it really looked like her own self. Wanda had really drawn this for her. Excitedly, she ran over to Peggy's. Suddenly, she started feeling sad and started crying. The tears started rolling out of her eyes. And when the tears started rolling out, through those tears, she could see the drawing more carefully, as if it worked as a magnificent glass. So she could see the drawing more clearly, and she found that there was a hidden face. Whose face? Maddie's face. She was surprised to see that in this dress, in that blue dress, her face also was there, hidden, and her mouth could be seen very, very clearly. She jumped out of joy and ran to Peggy's house. Peggy, she said, let me see your picture. What's the matter? Asked Peggy. As they clattered up to her room where Wanda's drawing was lying face down on the bed, Maddie carefully raised it. Look, she drew you. That's you, she exclaimed. And the head and face of this picture did look like Peggy. What did I say? Said Peggy. She must have really liked us anyway. Yes, she must have, agreed Maddie, and she blinked away the tears that came every time she thought of Wanda standing alone in that sunny spot in the schoolyard, looking stolidly over at the group of laughing girls after she had walked off, after she had said, sure, 100 of them all lined up. So when she reached to Peggy, Maddie asked Peggy, where is the drawing? Did you see that? Then she said, no, I do not. What is the importance in that? They went upstairs to her room. She took up the drawing and showed Peggy, see carefully. And she also recognized that her face was there. Then Peggy said, didn't I say that she is a masterpiece and she has, liked us very much. She liked us very much, and that's the reason that she has drawn our own face in the dress. Maddie felt very happy, and she wiped up her tears, and she was jumping in joy and laughter, and she knew that definitely she has got 100 dresses in a closet all lined up. Everything was true, whatever Wanda has said. Even though she could see that Wanda standing all alone in the schoolyard, looking at the girls, laughing at her and all those things, and she did not speak a single word to them. She felt very, very happy and peace for Wanda. That's all, students. I hope you have understood the story very well. Please go through the chapter once again and write the summary of the chapter in 80 words. Question answers I'll give tomorrow. I think there are some question answers left of the poem Amanda. Okay, that also I will give. Please write all the question answers in your copy. Till then, stay home, stay safe, have a nice day. Thank you.